So I'm reading the book, The Untethered Soul, and then there's The Untethered Life by Michael Singer. I've read them before. I've been listening and watching, or listening and reading again. And I'm doing my walk and talk. Welcome to my walk and talk. It's been a minute since I've done it, and it's hot AF out. So I'm along the river where there's more shade. But anyways, Surrender Experiment. Has anybody else read those books? And have you pondered the concept of surrender? Now, I choose a theme word each year, and I have always said, I'm not choosing the word surrender, because I know when you choose a word, then you spend a year calling in shit that calls you to practice that word and perfect it. So I'm like, I'm not bringing surrender as a word. But, you know, the universe is funny. And it's like it knew I secretly was fighting that word. And so I have spent a couple of years with that. And then also an unnamed warrior buddy chose that word. And I find that sometimes the people that you're close to in your life and spend a lot of time around, if they choose theme words, it somehow shows up in your life too. So thank you. You know who you are. Anyways, so I also think that if you're a parent, the idea of a surrender experiment of any sort is a tough calling. But re-listening to it a second time, being in a different phase of life with bigs, mama bigs with their own littles, we get called to walk alongside them and just be there, and that requires a lot of surrendering and walking alongside them without trying to steer them and letting them live life and learn and grow and do their things. And life is always throwing changes at us, but one of the most powerful tools I have found is that dang book, and that's why I'm rereading it again. If you've read it, please share with me that you have and what you found to be the most powerful takeaway. I want to hear about it, so comment below and tell me what your huge takeaways were about this book. But I am going to put out the things that I'm feeling prompted to share. And that is, one, can I, when anything comes up that maybe my old self would feel a lot of emotions or reaction, or want to give my opinion or steer things to go differently, especially if it's unexpected or unplanned. I've been receiving information and then going, what if this is neutral, and can I think of this in a neutral place? Like, what if it's not going to turn out worst case scenario? Or what if this could turn out for the better somehow, and I couldn't possibly foresee how it's going to turn out amazeballs, but it does. Like, there's a possibility of that. Why am I only thinking of how the bad outcome could be? So I have been using that practice of going, okay, what if this could actually be bringing something that's a blessing that I didn't expect in my life? Or maybe this is gonna bless my kids or whatever. And really being open to what is happening. It has been such a huge stress reliever. It has been such a blessing and increased the amount of peace that I feel like I'm feeling in my daily life exponentially. That doesn't mean that I don't have my moments and waves of emotion, and I definitely am learning to allow myself to have those feelings, but I find that they actually kind of wane and weaken after like a minute or two. If I really let myself sit in it and feel it, they go away instead of pushing it away, and it's just sitting in your gut stewing. I'm finding that if I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and feel this, and then I'm gonna get curious and go, but what if it could mean something else? What if I don't assign any outcome, meaning, story, emotions, or energy to it? Maybe this isn't a bad thing, or them rejecting me, or not liking my advice or something, or not wanting my guidance. Maybe it's not about my worth and my worthiness and my value in the relationship. Maybe it's just the universe and life creating opportunities for us to grow and connect and trust and love each other. And so I have found that this spring and summer, I don't know, even this last year, like every time I step in that space of, as he suggests, getting to that neutral space of not assigning meaning, like here's an example. If you're trying to struggle, so let's just say that I found out my kid was going to be moving. I could assign the meeting that, I'm never going to see him. It's going to change how much we love each other. We're not going to have as much time together. Like, I'm not going to feel as close. They're not going to think of me. Blah, blah, blah. Or what if this is an opportunity for them to expand their wings and make their own decisions and feel more free and, and then when we are together, maybe we're going to have even more fun because we're going to have so much to talk about and catch up on. Like, what if it's totally different than we initially react to? So it's been such a blessing to just be in this space of like, what if it could be something totally different and I don't even need to think about it because I'm just along for the ride. So in some ways, I'm learning to accept the word surrender. I chose the word liberated, and I somehow feel like that word is somehow fucking related to surrender because it's calling me to surrender my expectations, which I just talked about on the episode, of how I want things to play out and be, and that maybe they'll be even better if I get out of the fucking way and allow even better things to come in, better outcomes to come in, and that I'm limiting the awesome outcomes that are possible because I'm doubting and trying to control, and I'm not surrendering to like what life is trying to bring me. So what are ways you have experienced this or are going through it or moving through it? What are things you feel like you're being called to surrender or release or get liberated from right now? And have you read the books by Michael Singer? I feel like it's changing my life and allowing me to have better relationships with everybody. So I hope you check it out. I'll put the information about his books in my little comment or in the comments so that you can access it. Okay. All right. I hope that you are willing to ponder this concept of surrendering and releasing expectations and seeing what it could possibly bring for change in your life too. What would be the benefit? What could be the outcomes if you get to that neutral space and are just curious? I don't know. We'll just see how this turns out. I don't know. Let me tell you, it's a lot less energy expended because surprisingly not surprising, it usually didn't play out the worst case scenario that I imagined and put all my energy and thoughts into anyways. It was a big waste and drain. So it's saving my energy for the good stuff, like going for a walk in this beautiful nature. So beautiful. Okay. All right. I want to hear yours. You got to share.